Okay, now we're on to the rapture. Um, I've had a lot of fun with this over the years. Um, Whenever I was an undergrad, I used to eat lunch with all the other religion majors at Wayland Baptist University, and we would debate stuff. We debated nature of scripture, we debated Calvinism, we debated, um, everything. And one of the favorite topics was the end times or the rapture. Now, I believe that a lot of the doctrine about the end times is related to a very big mistake in interpreting the Bible. That mistake is that people assume that the book of Revelations and the book of Daniel didn't mean anything to the people it was written for, and it only means something to us. Now, that is a pretty um, thoughtless way to interpret Scripture because there has to be a reason why John wrote Revelation and delivered it to the seven churches, and the reason why it was so popular in uh, in ancient times. And that reason is it spoke to them. It spoke to the original um, audiences in a way that we don't even understand because we are separated by so much time and by so much context. So I believe that apocalyptic literature, oh man. Okay, I know in these videos you can hear my kids. I just couldn't get this done. Um, is either doing it at 3 a.m. in the morning or doing it now whenever I'm watching the kids. So he was crying because she was trying to take something from him. So everything is cool. Anyway, apocalyptic literature is always written not necessarily about the end times, but about how the people who are writing it are in such a bad situation that it seems like the whole world is going to fall apart in order for God to make things right. And if you think about it, we have that same kind of mentality in conservative Christianity today. That when Obama was elected, the whole world's going to fall apart because Obama's elected. It's going to change our world so much that it might as well be the end of the world. Or you know, in Hollywood, the only thing that can cause America to crumble is an apocalypse. It's apocalyptic. You have all these apocalyptic movies where America has fallen, but it was an apocalyptic event. The entire world had to change significantly, and this is easy to imagine with Daniel, with the Greeks and the Persians and the Babylonians. They were in control, absolute control, and the only way for the Babylonians to fall out of power is for God to do it and to change the world. And the Romans in the New Testament, the Romans are in power of the whole world. And in order for Rome to fall, the entire world has to fall, and God has to make everything new. And that's the message. The message of Christianity actually is that the world's messed up right now, but God is going to change everything. And as Christians, we believe, of course, that the world's not perfect yet. After 2,000 years, we're still waiting for God to renew the entire world. And it's after the pattern of the apocalypse. However, that apocalypse of Revelation only spoke to the people who received it. They knew what it meant. And even John's disciple Polycarp didn't understand Revelation because it was written for people before his time. So the book of Revelation is ours, but it's also not. It's something so foreign to us. It's as if it were written on Mars and for Martians, not for people on Earth. Book of Revelation is written for Christians under persecution of the Roman Church, of the Roman Empire. So Christians, it's written for Christians who are being persecuted by the Roman Empire, who are searching for God and hoping for God to change the world to get rid of the Romans. So um, we can hold on to that promise for us. You know that there's so much injustice in the world, and God is going to change it someday. But um, trying to interpret Revelation as a future, um, as a future prophecy, um, nobody understands how to do it. That's why you have so many different people disagreeing on it, um, and it's caused so much disagreement. In fact, that it's not even used by some churches. And I'm talking about whole churches, like the Eastern Orthodox Church, doesn't use Revelation in their liturgy. Primarily, I think, because nobody understands it. So anyway, I hope that doesn't distress you. But the good thing about it is, Revelation is great for us.